Holy shit.
Oh no, I'm scared.
You should be. Oh my gosh. There is a storm cloud the size of probably Texas.
Oh my God.
And there is quite a lot of electrical current running through it. And every once in a while, I just get this magnificent show.
I think the closest thing we've ever had here is just like some pathetic cloud with heat lightning.
No, because Florida is so flat.
Yeah,
So I mean, you can see forever. And these clouds are probably by Cuba for all I know. But, but,
right,
but it seems like it's super close. But I can't hear not a bit of thunder. So that's how you know it's far away.
right. Well, the you know that? Oh God, I don't. It's in PA somewhere, but it's that old train bridge that used to, like, it got knocked down by a tornado, and it's now a park.
Yeah.
So that's like everything. I can't remember how the lady said it, but everything connects. Like it's just like there's four different areas, like I don't know, states or not states, but something connects. But anyways, it's flat. The horizons, it's all flat. Like just how high you are, and it just how the outlook, I guess.
Yeah, I can't. I know where you're talking, and I, for the life of me, can't think of it. So I
I
figured
didn't do
that.
it.
Ooh, another good one. I figured that we could just do the talking portion first, and then
Okay,
we could figure out
like
formalities and talk about the things you sent and all that fun stuff. Does that work?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So why don't we go into the conversation as if we're just starting the conversation, and then just let it organically flow like we just did.
All right,
Okay. All right. So good morning. How are you?
good. And yourself?
I'm doing good. So there's a crazy storm moving in. I can't tell how far away it is, but it is definitely moving in. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's got some good old lightning going.
There's, yes, lightning like you cannot even believe. Sometime when we should do a video chat and then I can show you what's going on. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um so I sorry that I was unable to connect the past couple of days. I know that you had been reaching out and dude, I have been having such a time with my freaking phone. So apparently my iCloud has met its maximum
Oh boy.
and so has my phone. And so I have been unable to do anything. My phone's like has been disabled for 2 days.
Yeah, mine's my Google says email says the same thing. It's like 97%. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do?
Okay, so yeah, like my whole phone is saying that though. My email is
Oh,
saying that. My pictures are saying that. Like everything is saying that.
yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, if the I don't know if you guys got a Apple store nearby, but
Well, I definitely have to travel to go do this today because my phone's straight possessed. And I've spent 2 days trying to like delete things that I don't need. And I still can't free up any space. It's like insane. And I've deleted a lot of things. So I'm not exactly sure what the story is with that. But I do have a 13 Pro. So it is an older phone.
no, I mean it's just I don't know. I know some phones say phase out, but like I don't know. Yours still seems new enough where it shouldn't.
Yeah, but I feel like ever since the last update, my phone's been straight possessed.
Oh, yeah, no, that and it's not just your phone. My phone's done in the past before. Like it just, like it's working fine, and then they quote unquote say we're going to update the safety features and fix the glitches, and then all it does is just that it creates that.
Well, okay, so this is one time when I was at, where was I at? I think I was at Verizon,
And
honestly. It wasn't an Apple store, it was Verizon, but we were talking about Apple products, and I said, "How come how come every single time my older phone gets an update, it decides that it wants to act a fool and never work again?" And the guy laughs. And I said, "No, seriously. Like what's the deal, man? Cuz this is not my first phone, this is not my first rodeo. Like I'm seeing a trend. What is going on?" And he said, "Well, it's just because the update is not necessarily for your phone. It's probably for you know, the
like
the
multiple
the
lines,
three, well, it's probably it's for the three newest models. And you
right?
have
It's
the model that's, three versions out or whatever, five versions
it's
out."
basically one size fits all.
And I said, "Well, then why would you make me do an update if it's not for my phone?" He goes, "Well, some things are for your phone." And I go, "But the other things aren't for my phone. And then it screws my phone up." And he goes, "Correct." I said, "Oh, so you're admitting that basically this is a way to get me to update my phone?" He goes, "Well, it's not my way." He goes, "But definitely updates that happen for a phone that is not your version of the phone will eventually disable the phone."
Hmm.
He goes, "So you will absolutely have to get an updated phone." He goes, "Is that their plan? I don't know, but that is exactly how it goes." And I was like,
I'm
"Oh,
pretty sure it
well,
is.
thank you so much for sharing that, because I thought it was crazy."
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird anymore. Everything's like that. You get all these stupid updates. Everything's run by Google or whatever stupid crap out there, and then that's how it is. You don't build anything so you can fix and repair it. It's made so you can replace it shortly.
Yeah, literally everything is disposable, including us.
But no, I do. I found a quote that I wanted to put on here is, um, but I read it on Facebook, and it says, "Forever celebrating the little things in life, because there was a time where I never wanted to wake up. Not myself, but and it just kind of rang because how many times do we take stuff for granted in the simplest things? It doesn't matter how big, how small. We woke up today, and there's plenty of people that didn't.
Facts. Absolute
And
fact.
to me, that's one of those things. No matter how many um, bad things you had in your life happen to you, experiences otherwise, whether you created it or it just happened, because we all know life's not fair, and the same goes for me. But like, how many times did we have thoughts in our head that weren't clear, but we're still here?
Hmm. Yeah, very fun.
And yeah, I just think, to me, that's I kind of added on a good portion of that, but the um to me, I think we need to just take a second and kind of think about things and reorganize our thoughts.
Well, perspective is always it's an important thing to gain for sure, because it sheds light on a situation.
Yeah,
And you hit the nail on the head when you said the little things, because boy, if we wait for those big things to happen, and that's the only joy that we entertain, we're going to be in big trouble because
Yeah.
big things take a long time.
Not necessarily, because if you think about it, again, going back to perspective, everybody's is different. So you think about it, what's small for me or you isn't for someone else. And sometimes little things are disguising big things. So we should all really just treat everything equally. That way, at some point in time, we're prepared and we can better handle it. It's not going to be easy, but I mean, we'll have a little bit of a grip on it, and you know,
I think I was talking about the little things, holding on to the those those are the happy
well, yeah.
we need to hold on to, because of the fact that if we're waiting to be happy for the big times, for the big things, for the big events,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
the
yeah.
little moments, then how in the world do you even how can you even gauge a
You-
big thing if you've never experienced any of the little things?
Well, yeah, because I mean, again, to draw back on the little things, if you wait, you kind of stop living. You stop experiencing, and you don't give yourself the chance to move forward.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that definitely rings true for a lot of people, because they're
Yeah.
waiting for that better job, waiting for the right, the right time, the right day, the right moment. Well, it's probably right now.
Probably.
Oh boy, I tell you, this weekend was quite the challenge.
Mm,
On top of the phone being a straight pistol. I want, when I say pistol, I'm being so kind and gentle and nice, because I want to say some not nice things about this phone, but right now it's working, so let's just be grateful for that. Um
yeah,
so
the little things.
yeah, yeah. So let me share with you what happened. So Brennan came to me. It was, I don't, what morning, it must have been Friday morning. Yeah, it was Friday morning. And I was sitting outside. I just gotten done talking to three different people that had reached out to me in regards to the videos that I've been doing, and
Right,
had said, thank you so much, but all very positive. Okay, people that I've known from the past that I have not talked to in years. Uh, it meant a lot to me, so I was sharing it with Brennan, and Brennan decided that that was the moment to share with me how he really truly feels about my videos. And it was
right,
not positive. He said that he feels very triggered. He said that he
right,
feels angry. He said that that's not his mother, that he doesn't watch the videos and he doesn't want to watch the videos.
right.
And I said, okay, as I was like choking back the tears, because unfortunately, it definitely crushed my whole soul, because
Well, yeah,
and I value him and I value his opinion, and I think the world of him, and so to not have his like stamp of approval, ooh, did that
it hurts.
sting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, not everybody's going to be happy with everything. So, I mean, I guess, did he even say like why it triggered him? Something from the past? It just was.
Well, I we were unable to get that far into the conversation, because I'm going to be real transparent. I was unable to handle that type of criticism, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got very emotional and was having a hard time even breathing. And so immediately felt bad because he saw that he had triggered something. And, um, and I'm trying to say to him, like, thanks for feeling brave enough to tell me that.
Well, right.
Uh,
And
uh,
yeah, I mean,
but
to
that,
me, I don't think it, I doubt he was saying it to like you said, I don't think he was saying it to hurt your feelings. I think he was just trying to be honest and
well, no, it definitely, his intention was not to hurt. His
yeah, of course.
be honest.
Right.
It's just that unfortunately it did hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And my inability to separate my pain from the conversation, from the fact that I was his mother, from the fact that I mean,
Right.
like, it took me back to this very primal, like, survival. I don't feel safe. I don't want to be here. Like, it was insane, Brian. Like, I didn't say anything
Right.
out loud,
Well, of course.
um,
Right.
but these are all things that are going on, in my head.
Right.
And I
Well,
just kept telling myself, like, you need to keep your mouth shut. You need time to just, like, let this simmer. You have to allow your emotion to just cool. And so he asked me if I wanted to go out to breakfast, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure why you want to spend time with me if I'm triggering. And, like, again, I couldn't separate. He wasn't talking
yeah.
about me, he was talking about the videos for him.
Right, right, yeah. Well, I mean, I think breakfast would have been the perfect thing to do because
I couldn't.
one,
I
well, no, right, and that's fine. And that's fine. We all handle things differently, but to me, that would have set a positive note saying, hey, this is still a safe space and I still value you, your words, and even though they weren't something I wanted to hear. And you doing not going at the same time was like you saying, hey, I just need a minute. Let me process this. Um, but also, you felt like you hit a brick wall because like in your eyes you're doing something positive, you're trying to brighten people's day, get put out a good word, and then all of a sudden to hear your own flesh and blood say that, sure, yeah, that's a smack in the face, and the only thing you can do is get triggered and be upset about it. But um to me, it's one of those things that you can only take it one way, even though it's not the way the person initially intended it to be. It's how it turned out.
Right, and he did feel bad, and and we did, so, fast forward through the course of the day, I did what I had to do for me. Like, I went for a walk. And when I have, like, emotion like that, I got to do something physical. I got to get it out of my body. Otherwise, man, it is not good. And so, by the time I sat down at a meal, and got to talk about how I was feeling, why I was feeling that way, and, like, I really truly believe that his feelings about what he spoke on has very little to do with me. It has very little
Right.
to do with me. It has a lot to do with my mom, unfortunately, and
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
and it's so it shadows me
Right.
because I am an extension of, and that is something that I
Right.
have definitely dealt with my whole life and living in the shadow of. And it's been very difficult, and I know it has not been anyone's intention. that is just the nature of. But I've definitely lived in the shadow of my mother.
Yeah. And to be honest, like for me, like not to take away, but like for me and my experiences, like I've always like had that feeling of having to watch what I say, watch what I do because of whether it's a disability, whether it's just something that got programmed, whatever. Um, and then you spend your whole life uh trying to come out of that shadow. And then sometimes it doesn't even happen until it hits you and you say enough's enough, and unfortunately some of us don't hit that wall until it's late in life. And like for you had to unfortunately move to get away from that shadow, whether it be your mother, life, things that just happen, experiences. And I think sometimes whether it's moving to a different state or a state of mind.
Yeah.
um
Well, yeah, good. That's a very good point. When I was in treatment, that was one of the things that they really honed in on was when you are desiring true change, you have to change the people, places, and things
yeah,
in order for it to stick. Because we
right. I mean,
can change anything, but whether or not it's going to be a change that sticks is going to depend on whether or not we're able to change the people, the places, and the things. Because what happens is you go into the same situation expecting a different outcome because you changed, but
yep.
unfortunately everything around you is still the same, so you can't expect anything to be different other than yourself.
Yeah, and to put it into different wording, but going on what you said is like you don't have to move because like you can move and the problems are still there. If you're not willing to change, what are you going to do? Cry about it? No. Like you're strong enough. You went and got treatment because you said, "Hey, I sometimes the problem is me," and unfortunately sometimes not all of us can see that we're the problem. Like we all want to cry about shit, and like then all of a sudden, like in your case, you're like, what, screw it, I need help. And then to sift through others and to help your son, your daughter, whoever, and now you're able to put out some good words, positive videos to help people because you were strong enough to help yourself.
Well, I just knew that my way was not working anymore.
And sometimes it doesn't. Like
I don't know that it ever really did work. Well, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. I got to give myself some credit. I mean, I made it pretty far in life
yeah,
and didn't, you know, didn't have too many major hiccups. But most definitely, I think that coming to terms with the fact that I had no idea how to help myself. I just knew that I did not like where I was.
yeah. And like me, as of now, like I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not happy most times. I'm often not depressed, but just sad and having depressing moments. Um, and it's often very difficult to get out of your own head. Very difficult. And we are our own torturer, if you will. We
Oh yeah, we're
we often beat ourselves up. And then we put ourselves down. We, are basically a judge, jury, and executioner for ourselves. Like, and then we think it's everybody else that's doing it when it's really just us. And sometimes I often do, but sometimes people get the thought of everybody's out to get them. No, everybody's out, they're living their own lives, they're doing their own thing. They're not thinking twice about you.
No,
They don't care.
right.
And it's one of those things where you just have to brush past it, learn from it, and understand even though you give 110%, you're never going to see that back. You're never going to get that same back from anybody, family, friends, anybody.
Well, I wouldn't
And
say that, but you have to remember that people are entitled to set boundaries and people
correct.
entitled to live a life, and just because we may have a need doesn't mean that someone needs to fulfill our need just because we have it. It just means that we have a need.
No, right. And I was setting up a point. Um and honestly, actually, you kind of finished it, so that works. Uh, but yeah, no, it and the frustration lies in when you don't see that return. You get frustrated, you get hurt, you feel like, well, okay, even though I'm busy, but everybody else says they're way too busy, but they don't make it feel like your busy matters. Um, and it's one of those things falling back. Yeah, everybody, has their own thing. And just because you feel that way doesn't mean that it has to always be acknowledged.
Well, I guess you have to just keep in mind that the way that everybody, how people find their peace, how people relax, how people, entertain, how people, that's different for absolutely everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Everybody's different.
for example, like in my life, I work, about 50 hours a week at my regular job, and then I've got a business that I'm trying to get off the ground, so that is X amount of hours that go into that. And then I have this whole influencer thing that all of a sudden has sprouted, and so I've found a lot of hours are going into that. And then because I work with the public, talking on the phone outside of work is not a favorite thing. I've decided. Like, I great lengths to not do it
Yeah.
because I'm engaging with the public so much throughout my work week. And, which, can we circle back around to the whole conversation with with Brennan? It was so funny because another thing he said was that he felt that my videos were inauthentic, and that really stung. And I said, I find that interesting for the simple fact that apparently you have no idea who I am or who I've thought to become, and
Well,
that's
yeah, I get
sad.
that.
That's sad that you, when you see those videos, that you don't see your mother, because this is me. And it, not being seen, not being heard, not being accepted, I'll tell you,
I know that all too
shook,
well.
it shook the foundation. And I was like, I think I'm going to take a break from the videos.
No,
And but
just yeah.
that was definitely the thought that came like flying
All right.
right in, Brian. Like, it came so
Well,
just like comfortable. It just walked in
yeah,
without knocking. It did not even have a key or anything. It just walked right in and was just comfortable doing
yeah.
that. And I really truly entertained that for hours. And then there came a moment where I leaned on the positive affirmations because, gosh darn it, when I don't when I don't know where to find it in myself, I have to lean on tools that I have. And one of the tools is
Right.
positive affirmations. And so I'm listening to the positive affirmations. And as I'm listening to the words, and I'm like, okay, okay, now I'm redirecting, I'm grounding, I'm reminding myself of who I am, what I'm made of. We don't just stop doing something because one person feels a way about it. He's entitled to
Right.
feel whatever way he wants to feel, but I am also entitled to do the thing because it's my thing.
Right. And you know what though? I think in a small way I kind of see what he's saying in a small way, and I'll explain. And it's nothing negative. Um, but you know how like state people on stage, they get the so-called like the best I can explain is like game face, like you're setting yourself up to be like, all right, and then you show it. Like I think that might be what he's seeing, and that it like it sometimes it's the I guess I'm trying to say is that sometimes it's the small things that are a little bit of difference that they like say you've never done this before, and like as in before, like before you did these videos, and then he's seeing that. So sometimes, again, drawing back to the small things in life, maybe it's just that little small thing that's throwing him off that much. Like when you first start the videos and that smile, which is awesome. Um, because again, whether we're flesh and blood or not, you know, I like the videos, they help me out. And then the affirmations that I mean, I'm grateful you turned me on to them because that helps. That's actually helped me sort my thoughts out quite a bit. But maybe it's just that, and he maybe it's the rest of the videos he likes. Who knows? But I think you're doing a great thing. People are loving them. I do, so like, and I get it. Sometimes negative words cut deeper coming from family, and sometimes it's the other way around because you expect it from family. But yeah, I mean, it definitely keep doing the videos. I mean, you're doing a great job. So
Well, I think I
I
came
mean,
to a resolution in my own mind, yesterday, and I told myself that um, Brennan absolutely does not have to watch the videos. He doesn't have to
right,
not share the videos with him. I will not ask him to share the videos. I will respect his space. Um, and and unfortunately there will come a time when he will watch the videos.
oh, of course.
Probably when I'm gone. They'll
Well, I don't
um,
think that far, but yeah.
well, no, probably. And maybe at that point it will bring him comfort.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you never know because there, even before then, there might be something that happens in his life, and he's going to be like, oh, you know what? I know my mom does those videos. Let's see if one of them helps me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And it
I see.
and it's just like with me. How many times have I come to you and you're like, Brian, positive affirmations, and then finally I listen. I'm like, oh shit, that really helps.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's just like anything, I guess. We are living our life and we're doing our routine, and we get routine and we forget that there's other ways outside of routine.
Right,
Um it's nice that when we have people in our life that can challenge us and remind us that we don't, getting comfortable isn't necessarily a good thing. It really isn't, because we just end up settling.
right. And my thing is, okay, so Brennan had what he had to say about it, but guess what? There's a positive outlook on that. Very positive outlook. Because sometimes we need criticism to challenge us, like you just said.
Mm.
You know, we need that constructive criticism. We're not always going to want to hear everything somebody has to say all the time.
No.
That's what makes us our own people, our own selves. We are different from everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And everybody can say what they want to say. It's up to us how we interpret it and how we handle negative, positive, whatever. But you could use this as a tool to be like, okay, you know what? Let's try something different. Let's tweak this a little bit, or even just keep it the same and be happy with what you're doing.
And accept the fact that it's okay that Brennan has the feelings that he has. Oh, Callie, no, no. That he's entitled to all of that, and we just have to have
Yeah.
separate space on this one, and that's absolutely okay. It just sucks because I do know in my heart of hearts that this has so little to do with me. And
Right.
if anything, it's just that he's unable to separate it. Callie, you want to go in the house? Come here. I'm gonna let her in. Hang on just 1 second. Once she gets going, look out. Um, but yeah, it's so funny. And then of course I started beating myself up because I was responding the way that I was responding, and I'm like, why am I letting this shake me so hard? And why, you know, I'm like, I have 3 consecutive days off, and this is my first day off, and we're gonna start it like this, like it was just
Yeah.
it. I got real down um on how I was handling it, and then that wasn't helping either.
No. I mean, the initial what was said and then you handling it poorly, and not so much 100% poorly, but in your head,
My
what you were
head,
thinking and saying to yourself,
my
you know, that gets at you,
yeah,
so it's a combo, it's like, and you got to remember too, Nicole, you're only receiving, therapy and trying to change yourself for how long, and how long has that negative lifestyle that you lived beforehand, you know what I mean? So the past outweighs the future of what, basically right now too, of what you're trying to accomplish. So I mean, it's kind of like Rome wasn't built in a day. So I mean, it's the past feelings and thoughts of what, the old you do creep in every now and then. So it's just, you gotta try to remind yourself, hey, this isn't me anymore. This isn't the way I want to be, and try to,
how those
like you said, tools that you have at your disposal.
yep, yep. But it's so funny how the old way,
It's quick.
so like I don't even want to say the word comfortable, because it's not a comfortable place. It's absolutely uncomfortable, but it's familiar. That's what it is. It's familiar.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with comfort, because it's a very uncomfortable place. And it's amazing how long you can stay in a place of uncomfortability, eh, because you fear what no pain might be like.
It's on a deeper level. It's familiar. It's a pattern. It's something that we built. Something that we built because, well, what's on the other side of that door? And that scares you more than, well, if I do something better for myself, and then what if I fail? You know, it's like the greatest question of all. What if? Um, but I honestly, the things that I've gone through in my life, I thought there wouldn't be a way out. I didn't think there would be a point in going forward. Um, and then, honestly, I kind of turned, this might be controversial for most, but I turned to the Lord, and, I got more involved in my church. And I guess that was my tool at the time. Um, and then again, you helped me with the positive affirmations, us talking, so everybody has to find what works for them because what works for me won't work for you. What works for you won't work for someone else,
Yeah.
and
Of
it's up to us to figure out what that tool, that vice is.
Yeah, and that is the beauty of living in 2025 is there's just so many different dualities and the road is literally endless and you can open any you go down any avenue and open any door and there's just so many options and whatever you're comfortable with, if it is God and if it's not and it's the universe, or if it's not the universe, if it's a freaking bug on the ground, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You just need to find you need to find your purpose, you need to find your higher purpose. and 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 all of that is absolutely essential. It's just
Well, yeah.
depend.
I mean, I found like when I was with my friend the other day riding four-wheelers, and we were on the trails. And before that, we got there, my mind was quiet. I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't nothing. It was crickets chirping. But as soon as I got on that four-wheeler, we got on the trail, and I started just like if I were in the passenger seat, just me. I love to look around and see the scenery, and that was my biggest. That helped. That's my biggest thing. That helps me the most. That's my peace, that's my calm. And then my mind just started running wild. I mean, it kept going in just a thousand different directions at a thousand miles a minute. It just went. And normally, you're just brain, shut your mouth. Just let the bottom lip connect to the top and shut the fuck up. But in this case, it sometimes it's nice to just get all that kind of like you're emptying your email, just letting everything go out into the trash, out in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I hear a siren. I mean, I hear a siren. You can't hear a siren. You can see a siren. You can hear the horn. I think there's something going on around the corner. So if it gets loud, that's why.
yeah, it's fine. But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's important to have that place where you can unload, unwind, turn it off, or turn it on, however it is you know, however it is that you decompress, because everybody has a different way of doing that.
Yeah, and there's so many distractions in this world now. I mean, so many shiny and bright colored things. But no, there really is so many distractions. I mean, the way the advertisements, the radio, the social media is all junk. It's all junk. It's horrible. It's we let it tell us what to think, and go here, go there, you know. And if you don't know how to channel that and how to filter some of that crap out, whether it be social media, your next door neighbor, your brother, sister, whoever,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not gonna make it in this world. And like my late grandma Hop once said, life ain't for sissies.
No, that it is not. That it is not. It's not.
Because it's easy to disappear from this world, but it shows real character and strength to be able to keep on going. And sometimes, yes, it is what it is. And I try not to judge people when they can't make it because not all of us is strong. Sometimes it just gets overwhelming, and we just need to, instead of having that, well, good, they're gone. No, the proper way is, well, I'm sorry that they felt this way, and uh, you try to have some kind of positive thought from that.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I am in agreement for sure. Well, Brian, it has been such a pleasure chatting this morning.
Yes, it's been great talking to you too.
So, this was our first shot at this podcast thing. So, I hope that everyone enjoyed the conversation. The content was genuine and real, straight from the heart. This was just Brian and I having a conversation like we often do. So, thank you so much for that, Brian.
Yes, and thank you.
And you have a great day. We'll talk soon.
You too.
All right.
All right. Bye.
And then I'm going to stop the recording.